they're very proactive information gatherers, right? We look towards Nats to be sat back in his cam as soon as the barriers drop and waiting to receive that information, right? The condition is on, you know, the enemy team giving that away. So this is actually stylistically a very different approach to Gambit. So I'm excited to see how that fares against Supermassive Blaze here.
I need a stop. Obscuring vision.
Well, we're going to find out any second. Now, SMB will be coming into this one, looking to maybe pick up from where map 1 was, but of course Gambit going to just ignore that ever happened, if possible. And Gambit will be on the attacking side, and SMB will be on the defensive side, and at the very beginning, Gambit taking their time, but Turco's not far away from this. He's not leaving it completely unattended. It's not just a haphazard wall, but they just about evade each other. And look at the timing on this. Redgar has managed to slip all the way up long. And yes, the rotation's coming in, but by now, look at the timing on this. Brave is a mile away. Redgar, I don't think he's going to be able to see. No, and Izzy is completely caught off guard. Brave now shows his hand, but it's not clean. Defo, great work there. Fantastic impact already into this round.
Actually, Chronicle coming across from showers here. Actually, that shotgun nearly doing a lot of damage to Pora, but he'll be able to slip through at least for the time being. Russ alongside him, and actually this spawn rotation might get cut off as well, Lauren. You see Turco very late to the party, and he does.
There it is. Yeah, Shados caught it. Great point there. And now it is just the two, Russ and Pora. Whew, not an easy place to play back in from. Still a flash for Shados too. So as soon as contact's made, he can always pop that out if they feel they need it. Look how much they've still got left in the tank after that freebie walk up. But they did find Chronicle. But it's that final hurdle that will be that step too far. A little bit more damage, but it does not matter. Nats is there. And Gambit off to a great beginning. And that walk up long, that's so much freedom.
And again, just the sound cues alone. No information at all on the side of Supermassive Blaze received on A Shore. Just the sound cues of Chronicle trying to deal with that wall.
Ended.
Kept that setup for the time being. There was only one player to really hold down the fort on B. And like you said, Redgar initially able to slip through undetected as Brave held onto Hooker. I can't help but feel if he's playing back spawn there, it's a little safer. You know, Izzy doesn't get caught out in that rotation, but nonetheless, well played by Gambit. Supermassive Blaze now stacked up inside Hooker, looking to get a little aggressive here. They will stack up and play for a trade here, so potential for a weapon upgrade. Shado's got to be careful now, because there's more bodies than this.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not pretty. Defo's had to fall back to this. Oh, no way. Brave finds Defo. And look at the positionings coming back out. This is super weird. What a out of sorts round. Shados fell away. He's still got his flash if he needs it, but they're going to just wrap back around towards long. So the spike has just been grabbed by Nats. And you're right. Redgar has found room. He's going to confirm that A is clear. Come over this way. Ferry that spike on in. Get that plant down, and let's get this round maybe back on track, because this has gone so out of kilter.
He gets all the way to heaven, actually, and that's huge for Gambit. Again, if he's able to at least contest one of these points of re-entry here. I'm worried, actually. Shados is way split. A million miles away from this.
He's going to come around now. Nats is in trouble. I want to see what Redgar does. When do you strike on this?
Beautiful.
Okay, that's it. Great timing. Really held his nerve. I was a bit worried he might leave it too late and maybe Nats could have been pressured, but no. The timing was really well handled. Shados comes back around in time, and that could have fallen apart. You could see the seams being pulled at a little bit here by SMB, and you could see it almost fraying on the edges, but no. It's costly. Sure, it's a good round for SMB in that regard, but the round will be Gambit's unless something unthinkable happens now.
We get a consolation nonetheless, but I gotta say it again, another shaky anti-eco from Gambit, and Supermassive Blaze's ability to stack up and just play trades on classics. Again, it highlights really just how diligent you have to be when you spread this thin in a default, which we know Gambit do 90% of rounds. But these are the sorts of rounds where it becomes very concerning. If a team can just swing out like that, just finding a one-for-one trade, the weapon upgrade, the pressure towards Fountain in itself, and luckily it's Redgar really that's able to find space elsewhere. Forces the repurchase here, the full repurchase actually, on the side of Gambit. So a lot to play for here in round 3, Lauren.
Yeah, the economy's certainly done no spiraling for either side. And Izzy's got to be careful now. Glass cannon at this point, and Power's got his back already. Good pick up there towards Defo. And this is the shutdown that they needed. Isolated fights, untradeable kills with the power that Pora is bringing on these two that he's picked up. and the site's well under control. These last two players, Redgar and Chronicle, fantastic, sure, but have no step towards the site. Spike is out of hand for now, not a huge problem, unless they find quick success and they can't capitalize and springboard off the back of it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, Brave will be there to greet the unsuspecting Redgar and Chronicle now. In 1v5, 40 seconds left. What do you reckon? How you feeling about this one? Light armor, is that a consideration to make, Lauren?
Well, it's this position he's in, Hypoc. It's the back shower hold. Now, it's quite infamous. Now, you may say for saves, sure, but you know, it's 100% just chilling right now. Nothing's going to happen from this one, but we can kind of talk then. The difference makers in this, I felt like those first, I want to say 3 kills, sure, but even just the first bit of impact between Izzy and Pora was just almost unanswerable. Like, how are you meant to trade back into that at that point? They've gained no ground towards the site. They weren't able to really do much beyond that. There were such good kills in such critical areas. At that point, you've kind of lost all impact.
Let's see, really, if Gambit addressed this, because, again, it's one word I pick out from what you said, and it's untradeable, right? Without this kind of, I guess, synergy, that, again, here, the spacing's just off. The fact that Pora gets gifted 2 1v1s from a position that you'd say is one and done, right? Again, you could argue the only thing really that changes that is his turret, but he's actually taking the fight ahead of contact there. Circle will wall off showers here. The Owl Drone will spot him out for good measure, but orb retrieved. Yeah, actually here, Defo with the hero rifle. See if he can actually find something on the way forward for Gambit. That's a slip up.
That's huge. What?
Pora's 11 HP.
This is really, really scary times now. Now, Russ has done very well, very controlled, but not controlled enough for Chronicle. Going to play out well from showers now. The site is looking very much in control. Spike yet to go down and the TP taken. That's going to be a runaway. Nats is just getting the hell out of there as much as he can. Redgar looking to lurk, but he can't catch anyone on the way out. So his position now feeling a little out of sorts, and Nats is on an island to an extent. He has to still find value for this. They are in a 3v3, and there's that big value. There it is. Ult comes on, and suddenly the site is looking far more controlled.
That's only 28 HP, though, so he's got to be careful. A stray bullet could drop him. So now he has some reinforcements here, but is he clearing through sight? Can Gambit hold on here in this post plant? They found him.
Clutching at straws. Pora's already made the first huge kill coming in towards Nats. Now the ult's going to go down. Redgar on the flank can't make it work. It's on towards Defo. The 1v1 gets Izzy.
That's what you want to see from the man. Yes, there's been questions, but comes up huge there in the 1v2. Close out around the, you got to say, Supermassive Blaze gifted on a platter. Few slip-ups in the early round, and Gambit there to punish. And a great rotation by Nats, actually. Yes, he gets found initially in that Viper's Pit drops, but huge round, a thrifty round, actually. Bring it back, and 600 credits left here in the tank for Supermassive Blaze after this purchase. Defo now actually with the operator online. If here actually a little bit of a switch up in terms of the tempo, at least for these early rounds. If you can find some picks with it, Lauren.
I have to wait and see. Wall going up early enough here. No one fully committed up long. Now noting 2 on the other side. Nats is actually creeping up towards A as well. So pressure being felt across the map here. Defo is still aggressing on this. Not sitting back at all. Russ still has a flash as well, keep in mind. Slow comes in. Gonna kind of set Russ into that corner. Pora's found Nats. This is, if anything, gonna spur Defo on. He's so desperate for this, but they're just not giving him this. Creeps any closer. This is where it opens up that possibility for Russ. All now gone.
I've got your trail.
Seekers go in. This forces the hand now.
Yeah, they're just not able to get a clean peek here with 3 players on the other side of this as well. Yeah, Gambit have to reconsider this approach.
You are divided.
Actually, The lockdown. Look at that preemptive lockdown on the back of the Cosmic device thrown up. That's...
It's
the
time.
It's going to eat up so much of this
gonna
round.
Yeah, this TP, look, the desk talked about it, how much this is going to get utilized throughout this game from, I'm imagining both sides, but now they're down to 10 seconds. I don't think they get here. I don't think there's...
I mean, just to make sure, I guess. But yeah, this is... The clock will decide this one. That's something we've talked about previously. Again, these late round hits, one kill or one, ultimate in the form of the lockdown can ultimately decide the outcome. So... kind of the victims of their own approach there, Gambit. Important to note, again, Supermassive Blaze, bodies in the right place at the right time to stop that push coming through on B, and it's effectively a 3v3 on long there, Lauren. And Gambit just don't like what they see.
No, nothing of what was on the other side was enticing them at all. There was no easy way through. There was no easy picks either. Nothing was being presented, everything calculated, and this is the first try towards Showers. Defo known for his presence here on the defensive side, but no slouch here either. Is he going to feel the brunt of this? And Shados going to pick up where he leaves off, going to try and maybe work a little further forward. Pora's going to have to fill that gap here. And timing's going to be a key factor. Shados has got it as soon as Pora tried to walk through. These are two huge impact frags coming through as Nats is going to try and take that space towards site. Russ will spot a little of Defo, but there's a player closer. It being Nats, it is now secured. Site is theirs.
They will get a comfortable plant as well.
Spike planted.
Turco and Brave left to try and recover something here, but in a 2v5, a solid post-plant hold from Gambit. Well, not that they even giving it away. Defo actually allows Brave to regress, but Shados responds. Turco with a response actually. Still potential to do some damage here to Gambit and their economy. The Ultra in the late round usage there of a huge piece of utility actually, and Nats will come through and punish that on the other side. Gambit 4-2 ahead now, and this is something we talked about just before we came into this map when we were talking about this switch up on Viper. Nats being the one to lead the charge in some of these slow, methodical rounds, Lauren, is a stark contrast to what we see him on Cypher, right?
Should I play some stars in this reality?
Yeah, and it's incredible to see versatility not just in agent pool but approach to play, right?
Absolutely.
It's that ability to switch into that more kind of attentive or aggressive player who's going to be the one leading some part of this. Exactly. Yeah, he's nuts at clutching, but then also look at the amount of impact he can potentially have when he is first man forward to an extent, or a little bit more kind of on his own, still creating that space for the rest of the collective. It's very impressive to see, I think he's a 19-year-old. Young gun coming into this with so much value to how he plays, but no freebies at the beginning this time. We saw a couple of exchanges early on towards Showers, favouring, we saw Gambit previous, but it's been a back and forth affair. But for now, still being controlled by that wall. Defo wants it. Nothing to find though, still being played behind that tri-box on site. And Defo, there it is. Yeah, big pick there, finds it again. SMB are being worked down and worked away at very early on.
Not going to draw a player in rotation here. I think Supermassive Blaze anticipating Gambit flipping towards B on the back of that first blood, but looks like they will force the issue here. Utility invested. But no push through just yet. And Turco in a tough spot to dig out. He's good for one, but Nats traded.
I really thought there could have been a follow-up to that as well. Nats, still, look at this guy go. As soon as you put him towards the front, he is happy to lead the charge, happy to be the first man forward. And now Russ and Brave. Where's Brave in this? Oh, they're both CT. Spike going down. I don't think they can deny this. Site control has been pretty much completely gained. You can see Brave having to clear through that CT hold just in case someone had made it that far forward. Every angle could contain a potential threat, and there's two around this corner. Nats to one side, Chronicle to the other. Chronicle gonna find that.
Okay. Yep.
As you do. As Russ. Now, well, options looking dire.
Yeah, one with not even a possibility really to force out here and take some of these weapons away. Hoping that somebody will push forward towards pipes. Hit that TP rotate. And again, I'm glad Lothar brought up. I know you and I discussed this at length last time we saw Gambit play on bind and their attacks and how kind of how much it hinges without the Sage in this comp. There's so many further steps, right, to ensure that you can get this plant on A comfortably. Yes, the utility use is important, but it's more about site control itself. It's more about clearing out all of these spots. So Gambit seemingly getting those 2 kills early enough, again ahead of the rotation here. Pora falls, and it's another, what, 20 to 30 seconds before Gambit actually push on through. Now that's a little ahead of the curve in terms of the way we'd expect Gambit to play out rounds. It's interesting to see that adjustment here. I'd love to see really if Supermassive Blaze were able to pick up on that, because that's a very different aspect in terms of their play style.
There's pressure towards long. It looks like Gambit wants to re-explore this. Redguard's just... no one ever plays it, boys. And Defo just managed to walk up last time. But actually, no one is directly holding this time. Of course, we do have them down on the Sheriffs. The rifle that remained on Russ is still in play. And that is actually on the site itself. So could have some damage here if they're not careful about it. Flash comes in.
Right here.
Is he still towards the backside of Elbow? But a patience in droves for Gambit. No big rush here, but again, there is a time limit on this. You do have to kind of play that fine balance. You don't want to go in late towards a stack, potentially, which we know that SMB do like to run.
About this time is... again, where Gambit going to lean one way or the other. Seeker's invested on B, actually. And on the back of that, immediately Gambit try and push forward onto A. Pora got it all to do now. He's actually going to wrap towards lamps here. He'll get shut down. And only 1 rifle on the way back in here, so Supermassive Blaze trying to find something on B, and Gambit ultimately able to pivot away from that stack perfectly. Turco and Izzy, sorry. See if they can get anything done here. Chronicle will fall. And they got the res as well here. This is interesting.
Here we go. Yeah, ult's coming. Oh, Izzy! Nats! You're so good at this game. You are so good at this game. Every little bit of a threat that was starting to build, every potential opportunity that SMB might have just found, he just completely undid with the perfect timing to pressure. The res came in, they had the rifle coming out, the ult came online. 3 big things that could have maybe turned that retake around. And his presence is just unreal. Look at the timing on this as well. So there's that ultimate potentially coming down, but he instantly follows up towards Turco and then even denies Russ. You could not ask for a better player to have on this side.
As well, I'm going to shout out Lothar as well, because one of the things he picked up that, you know, some people may think trivial, but Nat's picking up that poison orb time and time again and just repositioning it to give himself the opportunity to make plays like that is huge for Gambit, especially in some of these, you know, the transition from initial execute towards post plant. It's minute things like that that make Nats absolutely deadly.
And look, this is the Gambit that scares the life out of people. And that's the player, the baby-faced killer. Look at him. So cool under pressure.
Again, the first blood.
Still finds value and backs away.
Now he's created a gap. Again, Turco going to be feeling the heat right now. Out on an island on B, but Spike not committed either way. No surprises here. 60 seconds left for Gambit.
But look what they can do here, Hypoc, right? They get the pick, they show a little bit of presence towards the other side, and then they suddenly dismantle what could have been, you know, maybe it was 3 players towards A.
Yeah.
Now they're going to hit that rotation. Actually, it's a gamble stack from SMB, though. They're going to put 3 players towards this B site.
FO B, the first in here at least. The flashes come through. Look at that brute force. Turco gets shut down. Brave will respond, but the bodies stack up.
Good
and
trades.
actually going 2 for 2 initially.
Spike down B.
Yeah, Russ is still... Ooh, he's playing a very dangerous game here. 1 on long, 1 close, 1 towards Hookah. He knows where the other 2 are, but he can't stay alive to do anything about it. But Pora gets the call. He now knows what's in front, but now he can't even see it. Nats is still alive. The man is an absolute legend at this point. Redguard by his side. What does Pora do? Touted as one of the best. This guy. But I don't know what you could achieve from this.
Connecting on that second. But Nats just playing. I mean, he can't jump out this window. He's going to have full vision here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here we go. Got to do it. Gotta bite the bullet, and down he goes. Nats again. I can't sing this guy's praises enough. He'll always be the supporting factor here for them.
Credit where credit is due. Supermassive Blaze actually anticipate exactly what Gambit are going to do on the back of that first blood. They drift across. Yes. They know that Gambit are going to wait. They're going to stall for that 20 to 25 seconds to allow that paranoia to build, right? Which is where Gambit looks so deadly. They create a gap, and actually, they do the complete opposite to what you're expecting. But Supermassive Blaze actually have the read on that. But again, it comes down to, well, a 2-for-2 trade initially. Russ, a valiant attempt, but Gambit's still able to break through.
Deploying drone.
Now, I wonder if they go for a quick lean towards A. They've seen 3 players, or at least 2, with the sky there as well as the wall. And Chronicle finds Brave completely unawares. And now Gambit have just free reign. Yes, there is still one player here. It is Pora, but look at the purchase. It's a Sheriff. It's not the dream to work with. And he's, mainly maintaining a little bit of control, but that's been ripped away. Nats just strides into his domain. This is his site, even on the attack, man. You can't take it away from him. And Defo just wants in, just wants to get rid of them. Just funneling them forward. Nats again, just lingering on the edge of this. Does get caught up by Izzy this time, but Redgar has his back. So this is looking like 8 is coming on that scoreline.
So, and like I said, Supermassive Blaze really feeling the pressure now. Russ again left to try and do some damage, but Redgar there to clean him up. At a 6-round deficit for Supermassive Blaze here. And let me just say, this is Gambit on the attack. I was talking about a little bit of an adjustment here with this composition, and Nats being the one to maybe be a little more aggressive. I'm starting to get worried. I really am, because Gambit's defense on this in recent performances has been rock solid, Lauren.
It has been. And look, we question Gambit's attack on certain maps in certain compositions. You can see it's quite tricky against teams like SMB. We saw it on map 1. It proofs in the pudding. But this is the other look to Gambit. This is the look that's terrifying. And is it a little dependent on Nats? Maybe. Has he mostly delivered? Yes. So at this point, we have to wait and see how it continues forward. The flash of the aggression, but there was a counter flash initially. It straight away makes it trickier to commit to this, but Turco's got himself in the corner. They're slowly creeping up long. They haven't seen a position like this yet. Turco is unnoted here so far. Ult comes down, barrel shows, he gets it, but Chronicle finds Russ. Unbelievable, and he's actually followed up towards Turco. This is unbelievable stuff. Gambit just don't seem like they can lose in some of these scenarios, even though SMB are trying to counter this.
Again, though, it's all a ruse. Gambit stacked up. 2 short, 1 showers, and Chronicle will rejoin them. I think a little bit of a misread here. I think they're maybe considering they've baited out this rotation once again, but Supermassive Blaze cannot pull the wall over their eyes. Brave, actually.
You are divided.
The showers as well. Does he turn his back here?
Ooh. That's the question. Defo now gives away the game. Pora's going to note that instantly. There's the lockdown. Spike now in trouble. Brave found Nats. Redgar the timing. It has to be perfect. It has to be everything he dreams of. He can at least deny the ult, but Pora stays alive. Great player now, a 1v2 Chronicle. A classic.
Look at Izzy.
And an op, but he's got the spike. And you're right. But he does have a judge, and now he's got himself back, tucked to the back of sight, lurking around. Look at this absolute beast in the depths, waiting, and Chronicle has nothing to do but die. And there it is, SMB, finally. Get a bit of an answer back.
So there's a chance there that Pora gets caught out as well. Plays his life perfectly, and actually finds a kill. Actually towards shot. I'm not even sure who it was that fell at that point, but... Again, Supermassive Blaze just not buying anything Gambit are trying to sell. And even though Gambit, they find 2 kills to open that. Yes, it's a 2-for-1 trade, but again, you argue at that point, it feels a little uncomfortable to just leave 2 players, right, to hold down A and Izzy out solo, but it's enough. They recover that round.
Go again. Seeker's coming in. It's going to allow that rotation to come in now, but look at the timing on this. They're going to have to still try and control some of this side. Brave is going to be put to task. It's Defo this time. But it's Pora still finding damage from Shower, still catching players on the cross. Brave tries to swing out and it gets shut down. Shados with huge value here. Huge kills. As now the spike could be potentially planted. Bear in mind, it is still in the hands of Shados himself, so would have to fall away. from the U-Haul control, and they just pause for a second. Chronicle tried to capitalize towards CT, but it's Russ who's going to find that frag. And now you see that consideration, that lean back. Exactly. Izzy this time better equipped as well. Up to hand, TP heard. It's all his, waiting patiently. No, Redgar rips off his face. He's just diving in towards the site. He's seen another. Here's the flash. He knows they're both CT. This could be Redgar's. Another. A shot is all he needs. He's got it, Redgar!
Insane recovery there. Finds the third. That will leave the scoreline 9-3. Again, I got to credit Supermassive Blaze. Towards the end of that round, they picked up on exactly what was lacking on A, and they were fighting for showers. They weren't allowing them to come through and find those plants on A for free. Love that adjustment there, but Gambit, man, they're looking deadly. They're looking warmed up now, Lauren. Just a total contrast to what we saw on map 1, dare I say map 2 as well. In terms of the attack here, way more control, way more refined. A little bit of a pace change really suits them.
And you know what? If they can slip between these two looks, I will love this as just a concept of what a roster can do. If they can kind of shift gears, not all the time, but when required, you know, maybe they feel more comfortable in one look, but then again, maybe when you face a certain team with a certain approach, you can slip into that different style. I'd love to see that. Now, we do see the switcheroo, right? So, coming back into this, 9-3, though, scoreline-wise, that's quite a commanding score. And in decent fashion, these weren't just, you know, oh, weird rounds here and there. That was actually a huge run of them. Look at the chunk of it in the buy rounds. 5 on the trot there coming in for Gambit. They've got to be happy with that. But SMB, a fiery team, not known to really bow down from a fight. They do need to come back in with this pistol, though. If that goes Gambit's way, that is a long way back for SMB.
Right there.
Yeah, what the approach Supermassive Blaze is going to be. A little bit of the Astro utility spread, at least at the start of the round here. Chronicle and Defo hold on to A, but Supermassive Blaze leaning heavily towards B right now. A turret actually watching that short push as well. Flash going to give away some information early on by Shados. And utility noted as well on the other side of it. Now only one noted on the back of the Trailblazer. Actually, in response here, Nats take a little peek outside, see what's there. Just gonna get swept, actually. Russ and Brave find kills on the way in. Go will respond for one, but falls.
Redgar.
Spike down B.
Yeah, only so much can be achieved through that. You're down to Defo and Chronicle on the other side trying to play back through. This is a site controlled by SMB. A deep push towards CT. Catches off Chronicle and his story is stopped pretty short. Defo dives on in, but a whole lot of players looking his way. It's not going to go so well as Turco's going to find him, and SMB do exactly as required of them. They've got that pistol, and they've got it with 4 alive.
Big round here again. It got to close this gap, and in my eyes, it's the early rounds that are the most valuable in terms of setting the pace, in terms of catching Gambit off guard. Again, making use of some of these lesser buys as well, whilst the economy's getting up and running. Turco actually going to carry a ghost through here. Interesting decision whether or not that's to try and get the operator on. I will see if Izzy actually lean towards that on the attack. Nat's trying to walk. Poor actually the setup from Supermassive Blaze. It's the nano swarm of all things to draw first blood. But Defo's found some space here. Turret gonna slow things down a little bit, and the smoke slightly off actually. They tried to smoke it off there to progress further, but they can't now. They have to retreat.
Next one in. Izzy's got Shados. Spike being ferried towards site. The final 3 towards CT. Redgar, Defo, and Chronicle. Slow goes in. Gonna limit progress again. Just being a nuisance as SMB just set up the firing squad on the other side. That's one. Looking for a second. Flash goes in. And Russ. Oh, actually, I'd quite like that rifle back if you don't mind. So Defo knows he's got more coming his way, and only so many options to do anything about it. So there is rifle, gets filtered back through, no problems. Toko's going to get that. And we have SMB building back in.
Opportunity here at the bonus as well. Potentially win this, and I mean, Actually, the possibility to bring it within 2 rounds, just like that. Gambit again leaning towards 3 on B site, 2 on A. Chronicle and Defo, but again, they haven't been proactive here on the back of not any, no presence being shown by Blaze. See here if they look to push out a little deeper. Again, early on, this pressure shown towards Hooker. And it's Nats with a judge inside. Is he already slipped through, though? That might catch Nats off guard.
Could. We've seen the value of this, but timing's everything. Does he Wait, does he thread the needle? Oh, what a weird reveal. He's still got Izzy, but Brave was behind him, and the timing on this was just so baffling.
Alright, Gambit give themselves a man advantage in this round.
You take those, I guess, with that weaponry.
Indeed, but 2 Spectres of Vandal still an option for Russ to do more damage here, but he's going to get shut down by Shados of all people. A little bit of a solo peak here. Pora and Brave a little bit split, a little bit disconnected. He'll be able to retrieve that weapon. Still, a straight 2v2 here. Oh no.
Oh. The Spectre's not kind sometimes, it truly isn't. Pora, such a good aimer, but not going to get a chance for a Shados with a good catch there in the end. And it is Gambit recovering, and I got a little nervous there when I saw Nats just kind of lingering around. But again, there was a little bit more damage that could have been done, but it is the way it goes. So now 10-5, SMB get themselves on that perfect purchase. And Gambit now get a taste of what SMB can bring in at least the full buy round. That's where things get interesting, and Redcard's still being punished on the money, man. He's kind of sitting down right now on the Guardian still, so that's going to be a little rough to handle. Maybe he's got a method to the madness, but at this point, I look to SMB as to how they want to approach this here.
Again, things to note out, actually, again, same setup, and it's 5 members of Supermassive Blaze. They still want to break through this B hold, Lauren. This time, actually, Redguard falls immediately.
They've done well. Yeah, that's a huge pick towards CT, but they don't expect Shados. Has to take the TP, but there's still Nats, and Nats refuses to let this one go. This is, you thought A was his site? No. He's actually moved. He's upgraded. Bigger place, nicer, nicer views. Why not? Goes for that B site, and he's still here, and they're still scared of him. They can't break through. They can't do anything about this. This round looks like it's all but wrapped up. That first pick that came towards Redgar, it looked like the floodgates had opened, but there will always be Nats. He doesn't like to share. He doesn't want to share. The babyface killer waits patiently for Brave on the other side. Anyone who dares to walk through, you got maybe the jiggle peek from the site. Barrel shows it's Nats again. That's going to be just Nats dominating this round. Finally taken down by Turco, but the impact has been done.
Turco looked like he was considering the Reds, and now definitely.
Yo,
Defo and
that's not bad.
Shados. Turco and Russ on the other side, and Seeker's invested here.
Seeker's
got to recover that spike, though. 30 seconds left. This rotation's got to come through. Shados split, disconnected from Defo right now. Defo able to slip away.
30 seconds left.
Play his life here. Give them a fighting chance on this retake. No utility on the side of Turco. 2 flashes for Russ.
And Russ could be integral. He doesn't get the chance to use it. Defo swings before. And now Russ is in danger. Shados and Defo, the pacing, they just switched it up on them. SMB were waiting to maybe dictate the tone of this, but no, it's not going to happen. And they had to step up after Nats just put in so much heavy lifting. You can't leave him without the round win.
That's actually great. And we talked about this, right, in terms of Nat's control of Hooker on this Viper, and it's a big switch up. We talk about it on attack, him being the first point of contact, him being the first point of contact on defense as well. We've seen these nice little set pieces on the back of Shados' flash, in Hooker particularly, but this time around, he's just, you cannot pass him. He's absolutely insane. We have a little bit of a switch up here. It's Defo and Chronicle now switched over towards B. So Gambit with a great read here, because look at it from Blaze.
Oh, stack B, no stop? No. Stack A, put Nats in the right place. It's just going to fall away from Shao for now. There's Izzy closing the gap, though. Great work from Izzy to take that space. Nats going to invest the ult towards this one, but he's still under threat. You can see Izzy just firing in, see if he can maybe catch something for this, and surrounded. Nats has players left, players right. He's got support from Heaven, he's got support from CT, but he knows he's in danger. Brave and Izzy just on the other side. Defo trying to stride forward here. He knows
Defo.
Izzy's on that corner. Catches him mid-air there, Defo. Perfect play, the one way as well. Brave's not got a chance in hell. Russ has to brave the ultimate, and Nats is waiting. Like a shark in the depths, he's just not going to let them pass, as now Pora As soon as they tried to take steps towards the site, there was just a wall waiting for them on the other side.
That's now actually, yeah, we'll spot Pora there. Pora will as well, but nothing but a sheriff. A big ask of him. And Gambit put themselves on map point here. 12-5 the scoreline on Bind.
Match point.
And that's on the back of
Smiles on the faces,
seemingly
man.
free first blood, right? The double satchel up,
Yes.
clean engagement with the judge in lamps. The response
great.
immediately, Nats denies all of that space, all of that control of front sight towards default with the Viper's Pit. At that point, Supermassive Blades have to respect it, they have to freeze. And then they're suffocated into lamps. Defo, man. Again, to have the balls to peek a judge in lamps the way he did on the back of the recon bolt, fair play.
Okay, speaking of Defo, it's time to go again. 10 HP. Gets out just. 4 players working their way up. They still want to go at this. Chronicles there. Redgar is there. Players starting to pour through from Hookah as well. Pora's taking that presence. There are so many players up on long though. Do they still commit to this? It's Nats just on his own towards A at the moment, taking the TP. He's come across. Gambit are all in towards this right now. They have every player here as well. Nats starting to close the gap. It's Pora who's waiting on the other side. Turco playing up on long. The spam comes in. Redgar's got one. That's Pora gone. Now all eyes turn towards long.
I see her actually looking to re-engage on the back of that, and Nats will shut him down. Man advantage now for Gambit. Another there. Defo finds one. Turco responds, actually with 2 of his own. Makes this doable here for Supermassive Blades again.
Where is Nats off to? He could have stuck around towards Hookah. He's decided to go towards long. He's going all the way towards
They're literally
A.
flipping back here to...
Is he baiting the TP sound?
Oh my god.
Is he
Oh my
baiting the
god.
bug? If they've just galaxy brained baiting the TP sound to allow Shados to get a bit of a surprise
Oh
through
my
from
God.
CT, that is actually nuts. That could be it. I'm gonna just carry on like it wasn't, but you know what? You think about that one because now we've got Izzy in a 1v2, full HP but blinded. Second flash to follow and they're closing in, and
You
there
gotta
it
be
is.
kidding me.
Shados to close, 13-5.
Defenders win.
What an incredible round from Gambit, and what an incredible map from Gambit. From absolutely lifeless the first time we saw them to this. What a change up here,
It isn't,
Hypoc.
and as well, Split was just so evenly matched. It was back and forth, and yes, it looked more comfortable on the side of Gambit, but you're still thinking Supermassive Blades are still making this interesting. Like, they're still maintaining that
Yes.
standard from map 1. That last round, I want to know. I need an interview immediately in between maps. I need to know the thought process there, because that's like you said, Galaxy Brain. This is literally like a crazy level of Valorant right there. The mind games in that last round was something to be admired.
We still have more. This is the beauty of a best of 5. We still get more maps to come. And before we get to them, we have the desk to break down everything you saw. And you know what? If that is the case, I'm sure Lothar would have noted if he thinks that is the sound cue bait there. We're going to find out in a moment's time after the break with the Analyst Desk.